Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. This will be episode 3 of the Datsun 5.3 build. We're going to go ahead and jump into it. Like we talked about in the last video, the firewall interfered with the back side of the motor, so I got a rough Sharpie mark, take a cutoff wheel, go ahead and cut a big old hole in the front of this thing. That's pretty much it. We're just going to cut a hole. You know, we could have moved the motor further forward. It would have required a car like F-body pan. Right now the oil pan sits in a pretty good sized hole. Gets the motor low, a little bit further back. Results in a big hole in the firewall, which is, you know, I'm okay with that. I would rather have the motor as low as it'll go and as far back as it'll go. So I'm going to start whittling away on this thing and see if we can kind of get the cab mocked up and mounted tonight. Go from there. So let's start hacking on this thing. Alright, there's all our cuts. Right through here. I'm not sure about the steering shaft. There's like a second layer there. Didn't cut anything there yet. I'm going to try and peel pretty much everything yellow from the firewall out of it. A lot of smoke from the inside. Hopefully nothing inside's on fire. If it is, so be it. So let's get... let's go up with this thing a little bit so I can shoehorn underneath it a little better. This is that steering shaft. Kind of what holds the steering in. Hopefully we don't have to trim too much of this off to get the old 5.3 Fury in here. I'm gonna just set her down and see how much more of this needs to be trimmed. I imagine it's gonna have to go back just a little bit. All right, well, news flash. this motor is bigger than what this truck was intended for. So it's sitting as far down as it'll go. It's all sitting on the tranny tunnel. We still need to go down, I don't know, 6-8 inches maybe. But I'll have to jack this thing back up, pretty much cut most of that tranny tunnel out. Then I think it'll go down. We got plenty of room on the passenger side. Driver's side, looks like we have plenty of room. Header, steering shaft will be interesting, but I think we can make that work. And then, you know, just all this is gonna have to go away. Foot room looks like it'll still be nice, so I'm gonna jack this thing back up and start hacking on it some more. All right, everybody, we got the tranny, tunnel, all this cut out. We got the cab resting pretty close back to the factory spots. So you can look up here, the front clip. Let me grab you guys a light so you can see what's going on. So there's the factory mount. Pretty bad shape. We'll replace it, but that is, you know, factory height. Come back to this guy. It's resting, you know, no rubber, no nothing. So it needs to go up a little bit. And then the back one, let's see, so the back one's just floating out there in space right now, hitting on that little bolt right there. But we'll put a pad in there as well with a bolt, absorb some of it. Right now it is resting. So if you guys remember on the last episode, the 1-inch frame that we did around it, that frame is resting on top of the actual truck frame. So once we bring this guy up, we'll clearance that so we don't get a really bad rattle. You guys can see the truck pan, the 5.3 truck pan clearance a little bit better from under here. Track bar, steering rod, whatever. Plenty of room around the 5.3 truck oil pan. Go over here to the tranny, that cross member, plenty of room. And then back here, we still need to weld our tranny mount that I made, but it sits right there between the torsion bar mounts. So plenty of room. Using a 5.3 truck oil pan, I will lower this thing down after a bit and show you guys how much of the firewall had to get cut out. It's a pretty big window, unfortunately, but you know, it's nothing a buzz box can't fix with a little bit of sheet metal. So I'm gonna work on cab mounts, and I am cheap. That's why it's called Low Dollar Garage. I did not order Datsun cab mounts. Instead, I ordered something better. See? Datsun cab mounts. So for $30 on Amazon, you can get 36 hockey pucks. So nice hard rubber, easy to drill a hole through. It's a nice shape, has a nice look. These little guys will sit right inside of there. So that's about how thick our cab mounts are gonna be. And I think it'll work just fabulous. So yeah, you guys can see these guys will poke right up in there. We'll put a hole through there. I thought about putting a metal sleeve inside of there that was just a little bit thinner than the thickness of the hockey puck, so the bolt would not wear and eat through the hockey puck, you know, making the hole bigger. Don't know yet. Might just run a bolt through it and be done. So I'm gonna work on getting the cab mounted, and then yeah, we gotta at some point, someday, we need to address this guy. Don't worry, it is on the lift. We have the kickstand holding the back of the truck up just in case this thing, you know, decides to vacate. But and then also while I'm under here, I'm gonna get rid of the factory drive shaft, get rid of our high flow performance exhaust, that's not going to work with what we're doing. So that stuff needs to be cleaned up as well. So yeah, let's make this happen. All right. I'll throw that guy there just for good measures, because we still got this guy all being all questionable. So we got the cab mounts done. They're not tightened down yet. One hockey puck. Second hockey puck. 2 hockey pucks. And 2 more. So essentially the cab's mounted. We don't have any of the hardware tightened down. Cab needs to come back off so I can finish patching holes. We obviously got, you know, big hole there, some holes there, lots of big hole here. So none of that's tightened down. But yeah, that's a big, you know, step that's done. And then I just got started going back down. Oh, don't do that. That would have been bad. That would have been bad. All right. So I've also been cutting some of the firewall. Had to make room for the truck intake. It honestly doesn't sit as low as I would like, but I don't know that I can go much lower without, you know, getting crazy with rechanging some of the steering, getting rid of all the front cross members. It's not an oil pan issue per se. You know, even a car oil pan wouldn't give us any, I mean, it wouldn't make a difference. The back sump area is not the issue. It's all the steering stuff up here. So it is what it is. You can kind of see, you know, that's about where the hood's gonna be. We're gonna have to do something with the hood for clearance. I was hoping to, you know, run the hood unmolested, but it is what it is. So intake fits. It's really rough right now. Like I said, the cab's gonna come back off. We're gonna box all that in, clean it up, make it look nice. These are some just basic Amazon Shorty LS headers. I had these sitting on the shelf. These came, I think I got these off Marketplace for 30 bucks. Passenger one fits, you know, fairly well. We'll have to trim just a little bit more inside, kind of where the collector is. That won't be an issue. Driver's side, on the other hand, is kind of a pain in the ass. So there is room. I'm not going to say it's, you know, impossible. The back one, number 7 hole, is going to be the problem child. 1, 3, and 5 aren't an issue, but number 7 back there is going to be an issue. The steering kind of is what it is. The U-joint is in front of the number 7 hole, so, you know, I thought about, you know, if the U-joint was back here, I could kick it over a little bit with another U-joint and just slide the steering shaft over. I would have to really dig into that column and add some joints further up to move this whole steering shaft over and then kick it back over to the box. So I really don't want to do that. That's going to be an absolutely, you know, last resort. Hopefully I have the other driver side manifold. This thing kind of fits. I shouldn't say kind of, it does not fit yet. If I was to cut this runner off, so it would sit in there like so, you know, if it was a normal vehicle. If I flip it this way, cut this top runner off, which would be number 7, I think I could get that guy to fit in there. And then I would have to trim that number 7 and tuck it up against the block real tight to get it back to the collector. But I'm not sold on where to go after here. I planned on running the truck alternator bracket. So there's a huge bracket that's going to be right there in the way. So, you know, I thought about coming out of here and then shooting down through that hole. I don't think I'll have room for that running one of the big truck style. You know, it's going to mount here and here and here, and I think there's a bolt here. It's a pretty big bracket. It's going to be one of those guys, alternators up top right there. Don't need the power steering pump. I could take the power steering pump off the bracket, which I will, but I don't think I could shoot through that hole, do like a nice tight U and head that way to the back of the truck. You know, I could cut all this inner fender out. You know, I really don't need it, really. And there's already some of that's gone. Could U it this way, cut some of this out, maybe go right above the shock, and then cross over through there and then run it back. The other thought was maybe order a kit, order a flange and some bends, and just try to make my own that shoots straight back, you know, like a typical manifold would. But that's the hang up right now. I want to get this manifold fabbed and decide what's going on there before I pull the cab back off, to finish buttoning things up. So I'm going to put some more thought into this, but we made pretty good progress today. I don't think anything else changed on the inside. There's a lot of floor missing. You know, the tunnel wasn't as big as I had hoped, and the motor is further back, which is good. You know, I wanted to try to get some of the weight to the back, but the firewall and the factory training tunnel got sacrificed, so I want to get all that cleaned up and get it boxed back in. Still have some big holes here, and then everything under the dash, you know, the blower motor, all that stuff's gonna go. We don't need that when we're a race car and living the race car life. So that's pretty much it for this video. Just kind of an update. You know, spent most of the day getting the cab mounted, and we're gonna try and get this manifold knocked out. So like to see, if you guys like the series, you know, go down, let me know what you guys want to see. Let me know if you have any suggestions for this driver side. I'll do some internet surfing tonight and see about maybe a flange and some bends, and then make my own manifold on this side. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you guys have had luck with you know, block hug or headers or anything like that, you know, I'm open to suggestions. So unfortunately I only need to buy you know, one side of a set, but it is what it is. So alright, like the video, or don't like the video. I don't care if you like the video. You don't have to like the video. It's gonna be there whether you like it or not. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys have any suggestions, leave me a comment. Check out the first 2 videos if you guys haven't seen those, in episode 1 and 2. This will pretty much wrap up episode 3, and I will continue, you know, trying to get this thing done. So there'll be more episodes coming out as I get time and parts. So you guys take it easy.